In today's video, we're going to talk about Marvel's Spider-Man 2, which is coming out this fall, exclusively, apparently on the PlayStation 5. So, if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, Kaiju, Monsterverse-based content we do. We also do cover video games that coincide with the pop culture, God of War, Batman, Spider-Man, and today we're going to talk about Marvel Spider-Man 2 because there is a lot of information coming out very soon, and there's been a lot of reveals that is insane that coincides with the actual live-action Spider-Man universe and also the animated universe if rumors are true. So if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the content. Check us out on Instagram at WashStew to see to be your first fan of your voice. Check us out on Twitter, WashStewG. Right, let's get into this video. So, it's been a long time. It's been over a year since they revealed Marvel's Spider-Man 2 at PlayStation Showcase 2021, where they revealed a minor bit of footage that broke the internet, and the video trailer got over 20 million views, which is insane for a video game, and led everyone to believe that Kraven the Hunter is the villain of this game. But that's actually factually incorrect. So, PlayStation have officially revealed they are having another showcase, and this is the first showcase for years next week. And this has led everyone online to believe we will be getting a gameplay trailer and a real trailer for Marvel Spider-Man 2. Although they haven't said it, it's basically got to happen because this is the most hyped game of 2023. And they've literally said in the prequel comic book for this video game, it's coming this fall, and your boy's not from America, so we presume the fall means anytime towards the end of the year. Most people seem to believe it's coming in either and/or September and October. So, you know what we do on the channel here: news, reviews, breakdown, theories, leaks, and we've got somewhat credibility when it comes to covering leaks. So I'm at the moment playing Spider-Man PS4 Remastered on the PlayStation 5, just doing the DLC, just did the Black Cat DLC, now we're doing the Turf War DLC, and it got me wondering. I've not looked at the leaks for this video game for such a long time, and seeing as we have covered leaks on this channel multiple times, I thought we'd go over the leaks on this channel today, and the leaks are pretty insane. And as you know, most leaks come from Reddit and 4chan, which we've been over MCU leaks, Kaiju, Monsterverse leaks. We've been over so many leaks in so many different fields for movies and for video games that have turned out to somewhat be true. So the plot is as followed, allegedly, and if this is true, this is freaking insane. And it does tie in to the MCU and Sony Spider-Man universe in a somewhat roundabout way, because Sony does own the rights to the picture universe. Yes, I get it. The MCU is where Tom Holland's Spider-Man is, but it's owned. Sony Pictures owns the right to that. And at the moment, PlayStation, Sony have the rights to the video games, although I don't know how that actually works, but they do. So apparently, the plot is basically Spider-Man 3 with Kraven and Miles in the middle. So, allegedly, I'm not saying this is true, take with a pinch of salt, because we don't know. But the game starts with Peter and Miles tracking down a serial killer. It's Yuri killing bad guys because justice. And Peter tells Miles to go home because stuff like this is dangerous. Peter gets symbiote early in the game when Harry returns home from Europe, quote marks. Although it was led to believe at the end of Spider-Man PS4 that Harry was actually at Oscorp in Norman Osborn's penthouse apartment. You know, the green scene overlay it now, WashStew. And he said, we're finding a cure. So this bit here is, I mean, they could completely retcon that if they wanted to. Sneaks into MJ's purse and then onto his back later. Black suit Spider-Man defeats Yuri with Miles' help. She's the first act villain. Wow, that's pretty darn interesting if true. So I believe you've most likely played Spider-Man PS4 and Miles Morales, but Yuri is the main point of contact in the police station for Spider-Man. So to have her as a villain would be pretty damn dope, to be honest. Osborn is worried about Miles' electrical ability and black suit Spider-Man and hires Kraven to kill them. Kraven eventually goes rogue and uses brutal tactics to hunt Peter and Miles. And obviously in the teaser kind of footage we got a way time ago, it was Kraven and the Venom symbiote in that appeared, and that led people to believe Kraven and Miles would be the overall villains. Kraven is brutally defeated by Black Suit, Peter, and Miles, and him fight. And then Peter goes to the classic bell tower to get rid of the suit. Kraven escapes. Suit bonds with Eddie Brock. Eddie is a recurring playable character in the game, with MJ like sections without the stealth. More action, more puzzles, photography stuff, etc. Black Suit Spider-Man hooks him up trying one of those sections, making him hate Spider-Man. He also has bad history with Peter. Kraven hunts Venom, thinking he is Spider-Man. Venom kills and eats his head. Venom kidnaps Mary J. and Peter, and Miles have to rescue her. Osborn gaslights Harry into becoming the Green Goblin. Now that would be a pretty cool twist, because most people assumed and had the assumption based on Spider-Man PS4 that Harry Osborn was going to be Venom. But to make him the Green Goblin, that would be a twist. I think it would be better personally if it was Norman Osborn. Final showdown is Peter and Miles fighting Venom and Green Goblin. Peter and Miles manage to turn them both good, and they all go after Osborn. Osborn kills his own son with a better goblin suit and also forces symbiote off Eddie's symbiote. Is like a container. It falls off a roof and Eddie dives after it. When they look over the edge, neither is seen to be there. Game ends with Peter proposing to MJ and her accepted. That does sound like a pretty cool Spider-Man movie. Like I've always said, Spider-Man PS4 would be a dope movie. That would be a pretty cool movie if that was true. But what's interesting here is it also offers a lot of information about side quests, etc. Side villain in the game include Mysterio, Sandman, Big Wheel, Shocker, Paste, Pot, Peter. Miles has a recurring missions where he's investigating mysterious signals and events happen throughout the city. Post-credit is the multiverse opening causing of Spideyverse events, and a version of Spider-Gwen comes out of the portal confused. Now, what is interesting here, otherwise I don't want to ruin your experience of any movies or anything coming forward, but from what I've heard, this is literally like the ending of Across the Spideyverse, because what's supposed to happen in Across the Spideyverse is it's going to break into live action. So to say this video game is going to break the Spideyverse open, which essentially is what happened in Into the Spideyverse 1, this would tie into everything. And we know that Sony knows how to make money. Just look at No Way Home. Yeah, sure, it's in partnership with Disney, but essentially Sony makes the money. So if this ending is true, the multiverse breaking open because of the events of the Spideyverse, that would be dope. We've got to assume it means a Spideyverse movie that comes out in June. Gwen Stacy appearing right at the end, Spidey-Gwen, would be so cool. Coming out the portal confused, that would be awesome. So there's so much potential, and also that could open the way. We do know that allegedly the technology that was used in Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, where you can literally traverse from one level to the next, would be a way to use this multiverse storyline, and the technology that Insomniac Studios made for that. We do also know this game is going to be graphically intense and the most advanced technological next generation game of the generation currently, because Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart was. Insomniac does not miss, and it would be cool if there was a way to tie it to the Wolverine game, because if they're opening up the multiverse, then everything is fair game. Game itself is like Spider-Man 1, but with lots of missions where you can play as Miles or Peter. Screwball comes back and does TikTok dances. I hate TikTok, so I really hope that's not true, but it's always cool to see recurring characters reappear. No playable Venom, maybe DLC or expansion, or a spin-off game like Miles got. Dr. Ock makes a cameo in a side mission in audio logs. That's pretty damn dope if that's true. So, like, you've got to consider and factor in with all alleged plot leaks, there's always going to be 7 different plot leaks, and parts of them generally speaking, will be true to a certain capacity, because whilst doing retcon and research for this, there was so many different plot leaks. But we're going over the one that I think is the most viable and credible. So this is going to a different plot leak, but this one here says there are playable sections with Eddie Brock's. Dev took player feedback on the MJ and Miles section on the first game, and there's a lot less shoehorn stealth. It's basically a walking simulator whilst you see environments of New York City and the antics of Spider-Man and his villains from the perspective of the normal person, the other person. It also did say this will open up the whole of New York much, much more than the first game, because although the map was very big in the first game, it was also very limited to what you could do in certain aspects. And it also goes on to say there are significantly more cutscenes and screen time for each character without Peter and Miles being present than the first game, more non-protagonistic present scenes than a video game would usually have. So yeah, this game sounds freaking dope. Personally, I'm not really that bothered about Venom being playable. It would be cool, but I just like to see how all these other villains will be introduced. Obviously, they can't do the Sinister Six stuff again, but to have Mysterio, Sandman, Big Will, Shocker, and Pasta Pot Pete in the game is pretty cool. The ending, if it does break the multiverse, and it would be game changing, because that would be connecting a cinematic animation live action Spideyverse, connecting that to the movie, connecting it back to the video game. That would be game changing, and that would be crazy, because I don't remember the last time a video game connected to a movie and then connected back to a video game. That would be absolutely insane. Of course, there will be DLC, but no one's going to have DLC information this early on, although the game is coming out soon. So hopefully what happens next week at the PlayStation Showcase is we get a lot of plot details from a trailer or from some live action gameplay. It's going to be freaking dope. I really hope they do introduce Spider-Gwen or Gwen Stacy. It's the same character, but I guess more people know as Spider-Gwen. That would be freaking cool. I really wish Black Cat was playable in the first game, but she wasn't. But there was some cool DLC where you got to find out more about her. To me, no character can ever really be killed off. So I hope Black Cat does appear somewhere in this game. I think that would be cool. But seeing as Spidey-Gwen is also a love interest of Peter Parker, that would be cool. Although the game does end with him proposing to MJ, we won't get the Spidey-Gwen relationship there, but maybe with Miles Morales, as that's kind of what happens in a roundabout way in the animated version of Into Spideyverse. That's somewhat where they're going to go at some point. Or they've hinted to, or it's kind of like forming, I guess you could say, from Into Spideyverse and Across the Spideyverse when that comes out next month. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at What'sChew to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. Check us out on Twitter at What'sChewG, and we'll catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.